Have you ever looked at your pet and wondered what was going through their mind? While we may not be able to read animals' minds, as vision experts, we can use scientific studies and decades of research to reveal how different animals see the world. Today, we are showing you the difference between a human and an animal's vision. Watch till the end. Here we begin. Worms. Many worms, particularly earthworms, lack eyes to begin with, but whether or not they can see is debatable. However, they do have light receptors, which allow them to distinguish between darkness and light. In addition, this allows them to distinguish between being above and below ground. Squids. The eyes of the colossal squid are among the largest in the animal kingdom. When looking forward, their vision is comparable to binoculars. They can also produce light, which allows them to see prey in the dark thanks to their photophores. Rabbits. Like many other animals we've discussed so far, rabbits cannot see the color red. Rabbits have a pupil area in their eyes like humans, but it is not indented like in humans, resulting in grainy vision. Finally, rabbits have eyes on both sides of their heads, so they can see in more directions than humans. Scorpions. Scorpions typically have 2 eyes in the front, but they can have up to 5 extra pairs of eyes on the sides. Remember, they're arachnids like spiders. Despite having so many eyes, their vision appears to be limited to distinguishing between darkness and light, as well as possibly movement. Birds. Birds have 4 different types of cone cells in their eyes, whereas humans only have 3. They can not only see more colors than we do, but they can also see ultraviolet light. As a result, another bird may perceive a blackbird as colorful when looking at it. Having said that, no 2 birds are alike. Only a few birds, such as canaries, are thought to be able to see the color blue. Goats. If you've ever looked at a goat, you've probably noticed that its eyes have rectangular pupils. This gives them a better sense of depth and peripheral vision. Their split pupils also control how much light they take in, allowing them to see better in the dark while remaining unscathed by the sun during the day. Garden snail. Although garden snails' eyes cannot focus or see color, they can just about make out another snail passing by or a predator approaching. In addition, the snail's ability to distinguish between different light intensities aids it in navigating toward dark areas. Rat. Rats generally have extremely poor vision and can see in blues and greens like dogs due to a reduction in cones in the retina. However, their distinguishing feature is how they perceive the world around them, as their eyes can work independently, allowing them to simultaneously look at the ceiling and floor. We attempted to depict this exact scenario in our visualization. While rats can see much further than humans, their poor vision and double vision prevent them from fusing the images as humans' eyes and brain can. Cats. Cats, like dogs, can see shades of blue and green and are very nearsighted, struggling with distant objects. Interestingly, a slow-moving object in the distance would appear to a cat to be stationary due to its poor vision and inability to change the shape of its eye lenses. Cats have similar with vision to humans, but they have slightly better peripheral vision, which allows them to see prey and predators around them. Gecko. In low light, humans cannot see colors very well, if at all. This is because our cone cells perform best in bright light. Other cells in our eyes, known as rod cells, assist us in seeing in low light. However, because rod cells only have a single light-sensitive pigment, we see it in grayscale at night. On the other hand, geckos have excellent night vision, which is useful for a nocturnal hunter. At night, their eyes have evolved to be up to 350 times more sensitive to color than ours. Dog. Because of their nearsightedness and lack of true color vision, man's best friend's eyesight performs best in low light. Their vision is a little more washed out during daylight hours compared to humans. The science behind this is that humans have more cone photoreceptor cells, 5%, than dogs, 3%, which are responsible for our vivid color vision. Dogs have dichromatic vision, which means they primarily see violet, blue, yellow, and shades of gray rather than black and white, as many believe. Dogs have a field of vision of 240 degrees, which is 40 degrees greater than humans. Housefly. Flies are frequently depicted in movies as having a honeycomb-shaped vision made up of small hexagonal views. Still, their vision is far more blurry, almost pixelated. due to their extremely poor viewing distance. They can see a full 360 degrees, but this is only useful if they are extremely close to their subject. Despite this, flies have the fastest visual responses of any animal, which is why they are so good at avoiding threats. Of course, they wouldn't be able to tell you apart as a person, but they would notice a large mass approaching slowly, giving them time to flee. Recent research suggests that flies may be able to process color in a similar way to humans. However, science does not yet know which colors they can see. However, we do know they can see polarized light, as evidenced by the effect on the back windows. Goldfish. Goldfish are designed to see things up close. So, for example, they may see something floating in the water that they want to eat that a human would find extremely difficult to focus on. According to studies, goldfish are extremely sensitive to light refractions, which is how they navigate when swimming because the light reveals where objects and other animals are. In terms of colors, studies have replicated the goldfish eye and discovered that they should be able to see all of the colors that humans can see as well as ultraviolet light, implying that they can see color waves that humans cannot. Finally, goldfish can see almost 360 degrees around them, which means they could see the entire fishbowl in one view, but it would be extremely blurry and difficult to distinguish detail. Jumping spider. These spiders hunt thanks to their 4 pairs of eyes' excellent vision, so they pounce when they spot potential prey. The spider's largest pair of eyes face forward and provide high-resolution vision. The smaller eyes are used for peripheral vision and motion detection. As a result, jumping spiders can see a wider range of colors than humans. They even have pigments that are sensitive to ultraviolet light, so they can see more details in the petals of this flower than we can. Bald eagle. While a bald eagle is an unusual pet, it has been America's national bird since 1782, and its vision is fascinating. Eagles can see things 4 to 8 times farther away than humans, making them ideal for hunting small prey while soaring through the sky. They can also distinguish many more colors than humans, and the colors we do see are far brighter than an eagle. Eagles, like humans, can see ultraviolet light, so in our illustration, the eagle has spotted the rat hiding behind the plant and can see a urine trail. Bats. Despite popular belief, bats are not blind. Although they use their ears to find food in a process known as echolocation, which allows them to see in the dark, they still rely on their eyes for daily activities and social interactions. What a bat sees varies by species. Some are completely colorblind, while others can see specific colors due to proteins in their eyes. Some of them can even see red, a color that many animals cannot. Giant clam. Adult giant clams are completely stationary due to their attachment to rocks or coral. Instead, they see the world through hundreds of tiny pinhole eyes that run along the edge of their soft bodies. Pinhole eyes have a narrow opening and a deep cup shape, but no lens. They are just one of many eyes owned by mollusks, which include slugs, snails, oysters, and octopuses, and show different stages of eye evolution. Despite being sensitive to 3 different light colors, giant clams cannot combine the information and instead see colorful but undefined images. However, their eyes can detect nearby movement, allowing the clams to react by squirting a jet of water to startle a potential predator or closing their shell. Mantis shrimp. The mantis shrimp's eyes are among the most complex known to man, with up to 16 photoreceptors and filters that divide ultraviolet light into distinct colors. Given how colorful the shrimp already appear to us, one can only imagine what they appear to other species. Mole rats. Mole rats don't need their eyes because they live underground, but they can distinguish between light and dark. Unlike true moles, most mole rats have external, albeit extremely small, eyes that may allow them to see color. Their eyes are sensitive to blue and greenish-yellow light, indicating that they are not completely colorblind, but they cannot see red, and it is unclear whether they can distinguish between the colors. The blind mole rat, on the other hand, has eyes that are covered by skin and do not appear to respond to light. What do you think about these animals versus humans' views? Let us know in the comments below, and subscribe for more such videos.